So it's September, and September in real estate world, it's important that we remind ourselves during safety month that this is a dangerous industry. A lot of industries have these same types of concerns, but ultimately, I want to make sure that we bring to the forefront, get a good reminder, give ourselves that logical kick in the back of the head on, hey, pay attention out there. You need to know what's going on in your surroundings, and you need to make sure that for the safety of yourself, your family, your clients, you're doing the right things and you're being aware of everything that's going on around you. So today, for Realtor Safety Month here in Florida, we're going to talk about some of the safety tips that could potentially save your life. Safety should always be an agent's top priority. In a world filled with client meetings and property showings and open houses, as real estate agents, safety is not about necessarily guarding yourself and protecting your clients. It's not the top of mind thought for most of us. It's I've got to hurry up and pick up as many snack trays and drinks and paper cups and yard signs and open house signs and get everything in place. And I forget about the most important thing for you to be able to securely represent a home or represent yourself and your services to a client. You have got to maintain a sense of safety and security for all of those around you, especially yourself. That's going to give you that nice, calm confidence that you need when complete strangers are walking in to have conversations with you that day. So whether you're unlocking a door to a property in the bustling cities of Florida, or if you're in some quiet towns and you're viewing us today from Alabama, I want you to remember all of these are practical tips that you can use to ensure your realtor safety. So, first and foremost, let's talk about pre-screening prospective clients. If you're in real estate for more than a minute, you're probably already using a CRM. So, in using a CRM, you're probably already collecting full names, addresses, as much contact information like phone numbers and emails that you can get from a client anyway. But going a little bit farther, trolling some social media, make sure these people that you're meeting are legit. How do they behave online? Because typically, how they're representing themselves online and in some type of social public fashion is probably how they're going to represent themselves alone with you in a home that neither of you have a whole lot of experience with. You also want to be able to ask some good probing questions during those interviews. You want to know, why have they sought out your services? If they give you a lot of details, or are they being really vague? You can do even informational online searches like basic background informations, look up their name with keywords and add the words arrests or felonies or public records or things like that. There is a lot of public information that can help you maintain a sense of security while you are out there on the showroom floor, which in real estate is the local neighborhoods and communities that you're showing houses in. It's not like I'm asking you to pull up public court records and trying to find something. You do not need to go all Scooby Doo on every single client that you're going to mess with, looking for the dangerous farmer that you're going to unveil the mask of. You just want to make sure that you can be confident and have a sense of security. And we'll talk about open houses and complete strangers coming into the buildings that you're in, because that's not so easy in that scenario. But these don't have to be deal breakers, but it needs to give you at least an idea of who you're working with. Every scenario out there on the internet has a story, and each of these clients deserve to be able to tell their story. But in my company and in the way real estate should work, I want people to be safe and confident and be able to come in with a sense of knowledge that they're not on their own and they're never in a dangerous situations. Instead of just going right to a showing and meeting at a house, invite your clients for an office review. We have lots of shared offices here at Keystone, so you've got lots of public availability. There are Starbucks everywhere if you want to meet at that, or one of the local bookstore, coffee shops that are available to you in your town. These are good things to do. Make sure that you're reviewing their pre-approval letter, the must-haves, the wants, their budget. You're identifying not only the houses that they're interested in, but do you have a legit client on the line? Ask questions to gauge whether they're serious about buying or selling their properties. What's their timeline? Why they're actually in the process. How long have they been looking? What other agents maybe they have been working with? We'll give you an idea. And sorry, but red flags, if they're refusing to meet with you publicly, if they're refusing to meet with you at an office, if they seem to have other motives or not genuinely interested in giving you information, chances are you need to trust your gut and trust your instincts and proceed with extreme caution in these situations. Next thing you can do to be publicly aware and make sure that you're working well, if you've got a good brokerage and you've got a broker that's certainly involved, you can always share your location with your colleagues and even with your friends or your partner if that's the situation that you're in. According to the NAR, currently 85% of all realtors have actually shown a property alone. However, if no one is available to accompany you at a property showing or an open house, you can certainly practice agent safety by ensuring that someone else at least knows where you are and you're doing a quick check-in just to make sure that people know that you're okay. Inform a colleague, inform a friend, family member about your whereabouts when you're meeting with clients, especially during showings. Share your locations in real time on GPSs and some of the embedded technologies and the apps that are available to you. Again, big red flag, areas with low signals, especially rural locations where connectivity might be unreliable, being able to plan and talk through the additional precautions for your safeties is essential. And don't think for 1 second that you need to go by yourself. You should always be able to reach out to a colleague, one of your teammates, or even your broker can make sure that they're there with you when visiting the properties or conducting showings. It will definitively help you sell a property too, showing that you have lots of people, a larger set of personnel that is involved in the process. So don't think for 1 second that by you having a buddy, it's going to just be a safety and support jacket. It also creates a sense of security and a sense of confidence for the client that you're showing to, until you feel more confident. There are plenty of safety apps that are out there. One of the top real estate safety tips that is out there currently that everybody markets is usually the panic button scenarios, emergency alerts, location tracking. You need to be able to use these types of apps anytime that you're meeting with new clients, especially when you're working alone in locations or scheduling properties if you can't get signals. You need to be able to use these when you're hosting open houses and with property showings. And of course, especially nighttime scenarios or anytime you just feel uncomfortable. It's not all the time that we are showing a property in a community that we necessarily as real estate agents would live in or necessarily feel comfort or safety in. It's perfectly okay. In real estate, you're going to be out of your element a lot. We don't mind. That's part of the job, but you still have this, if you still have this anxiety when you're in those scenarios, clients are going to feel it. And again, another big red flag warning for you. You need to ensure that your cell phone is readily available to you, preferably right there in your pocket, rather than buried in a purse or a bag, or in an emergency. You need to be able to use it for a panic button or utilizing your safety app. You being able to get to your phone quickly is going to be critical for intuitive response, potentially minimizing the time it takes to send an alert or call for help if you need it, right? I will tell you, in the most recent poll by the National Association of Realtors, 67% of realtors are using a smartphone safety app of some type, whether just to track location or to be able to send alerts to family and friends to make sure that people are in good condition. Certainly, some of them can go way overboard and even do security and background checks for clients before they even show up. But there are plenty of them out there on both the major Android and iPhone platforms. If you're interested in using some of those, certainly you can go to the NAR safety site and they can actually give you some that have some discounts for realtors. Showings during the day. Property showings during daylight hours as much as possible is also a nice safety tip. Daytime appointments are much easier to manage for you as a realtor as well, and it allows for better visibility compared to the evening showings. Often, more people are around during the day who may notice cars coming and going from their neighborhood. Usually, neighbors, you should have probably knocked on some doors and done a little bit of field work before you are locking yourself into a brand new home that you've only represented for a short amount of time. It's important for the neighbors to know that you are there working as well. Nothing would be more embarrassing than having an officer of the law knocking on the door while you're just trying to do an open house and them causing some disruption while you're trying to bring clients in and out. So just make sure that more than just yourself know when you're in a home, you're using that daylight functionality. And if you do encounter a neighbor or something like that, absolutely make sure that you're giving out your business card for not just business reasons, but so they can contact you and they can check on the house if you've left, or maybe you left a door open and they need to alert you to it. That way, they know who you are as well. And if something looks strange in their community while they're at home, they can let you know. Again, big red flag. Even if people have agreed to daytime meetings, screening your clients is still kind of a must. Bad things happen during the day as well. But if they're refusing to meet you when the sun is out entirely, chances are that you've got a safety concern that you need to be aware of. If their reason for needing an evening showing is because of work, well, this is where meeting with them in a public place or in your office is going to be well serving for you. And again, you've got people that work in the realtor community with you, friends, colleagues, associates. Your broker should be more than happy to be able to assist and join you in these situations to just make sure you've got a good, safe working environment. Ask where these clients work over the phone so you've got more than just their personal information to get a hold of if that's a problem. More Most likely you're not going to get much more information than that out of them until you have built a relationship, but prioritizing your safety is going to set some nice clear boundaries, and it's going to make sure that you've got a safe meeting condition. Some other things that you can do to make sure that you're putting yourself in a good scenario: do not advertise your listings as vacant. Those should be realtor notes and inside to MLS access only. So when people are going on Zillow or realtor.com or any of the big sites that they do home searching from, they should not see vacant property go and show and things like that. That is a huge safety, and you're going to be putting yourself in a situation that even when you're not at the house, the home may be at risk too, from vagrants and people that just unnecessarily like to do damage. You don't want to give them a target. And by not labeling it that way public, you can put yourself in a much smarter position. Opt out for that kind of neutral language that doesn't explicitly disclose those things. Focus on the highlights. And remember, whenever you publish an open house, it shows up as a public announcement on all of the big sites. So the people that aren't necessarily showing up at open houses for all of the right reasons also know that you're there, and potentially that you may be there alone, and that they may be able to take advantage. And we never want any of you in that situation. Don't be afraid to use virtual home staging so that the pictures that you're posting aren't just showing a wide open vacant house. It's easy to read into that if that's the type of pictures that you're putting out there. So it's going to make the home look more lived in during your real estate photos.